One of Appalachia's biggest mysteries is finally coming to light. The third and final announced DLC for Fallout 76, titled Wastelanders, got a huge teaser in a recent update. The Treasure of Appalachia has been something long rumored to be an important part of this DLC. Luckily, we are finally getting some in-game lore to support this treasure's existence in Fallout 76. In order to find this new evidence, we have to follow an unmarked quest that will bring us to nearly every corner of the map, and will end on the doorstep of the Treasure of Appalachia. This unmarked quest starts similarly in an unmarked location in Grafton. Near the center of town, we can look for a downed tree leaning against the buildings. Just under this tree, we can find a door to the Grafton pawn shop. Let's enter. Immediately, we see a rather standard-looking pawn shop. It looks like someone was trying to sell some tree branches. Next to the entrance, we can find a few pieces of paper that look like they were passed underneath the door. Flavia's disappearance. Dear Flavia, where are you? The pawn shop has been closed for months. You said you were going away for a while. I keep replaying your farewell dinner, and the way you talked, it didn't feel right. Are you okay? Is something wrong? If you need money, I'm sure Robert can give you a loan. You know he was always sweet on you. Everyone's suffering, but you have friends and loved ones that will look after you. Please just come back, and when you do, for God's sake, clean up. The whole building may be condemned if you don't do something about it. IF. So it sounds like IF is suggesting that Flavia's farewell dinner's speech was indicating something more sinister than what Flavia led on. Next to this note, we can find a eviction notice. Nothing really profound here, just an eviction notice. There isn't even any dates. Next to that, we can find 999 setback. I know we had an argument, but my side business has major issues. I have to skip town. I think I have your switch automated right. If you get back before the deadline, down with the man. If I get back in time, I'll take care of it personally. You stay safe, 999. Well, we don't know who 999 is yet, but maybe his or her side business has something to do with the treasure. We're gonna have to continue searching to find out more. Heading to the second floor of the pawn shop, we can find a room filled with boxes and boxes of files. Moving to a lower level, we can find a small office space with two chalkboards on the wall, one blank, but the other one has labeled columns: materials, transport, cover-up, location, and treasure. Below the board, we can find some detective files and some army training graduation papers, suggesting that Flavia may be a veteran. For now though, let's shift our focus to the other whiteboard. At first, it looks empty, but if we toggle this blacklight sitting on the small side table, we can see what is going on here. The whiteboard is now ringed with keywords. At first, they may seem random, but in reality, we can connect each word with a corresponding location. In my opinion, the easiest connection can be made with cryptid and the Mothman Museum, so that's where we're heading next. Heading over to Point Pleasant and the Mothman Museum, we can pick the front door and find a package sitting on the counter labeled Mysterious Map Fragment, Fernando. As soon as we pick it up, it says, "Inside this package is an unmarked map fragment. It has a small note attached. Urgent, Fernando. Take this to my shop, find all the pieces. FS." We can assume FS stands for Flavia, so heading back to the pawn shop, we can place the map fragment on the board, revealing the first of 6 map fragments and the first number of a code. In my case, this was a 5. This code will be different for you. Moving on to the next locations, we can follow the meat to the General's Steakhouse in the northernmost part of the Cranberry Bog. Just inside the General's dining hall, sitting on top of a bar, we can find the next map fragment, made out to Finn. Heading just north of the General Steakhouse, we can find the Haven Church, which is where we can find the Halo map piece made out to Jessica. After that, again heading north, we can go to the Red Rocket Megastop. Inside one of the smaller Red Rocket convenience stores, we can find the Gasman map fragment addressed to Barry. We can follow Spurlunker to the Uncanny Caverns. Heading inside the gift shop and heading to the back counter, we can find another map fragment made out to Constance. And finally, we can head to the Morgantown High School. Heading inside to the second floor, we can find the final map fragment addressed to Ren. Now with all 6 map fragments, we can head back to the Grafton pawn shop and place the final 5 map fragments on the board. Back at the pawn shop, we can place the fragments. This shows us not only a unique code, it shows us a portion of the map with an X on it. If we look close, we can match up the lines of this map with the map of Appalachia. When doing this, we can see that the portion of the map that we are looking at is the most northeastern part of the map. Now that we have our reference point, we can head to the X and see what we can find there. Finding this point on the map was more difficult than I thought. I ended up having to take a picture of the map in the pawn shop with my phone in order to find it. So, at seemingly the most northern point of the map, we can find a hole in the wall that doesn't look very natural. Climbing up a few rocks to get a better view, we can enter the cave and we can find a few things inside. Some bones placed on a rock, presumably this cave was used by a Yaogwai at some point, but we can also find a large concrete slab accompanied by a keypad. Here is where we can enter our code. In my case, my code is 578428. As long as you enter the code correctly, the wall will split open and reveal an elevator guarded by lasers. Stepping in, we can see that this elevator leads to Vault 79, the same vault featured in the Wasteland trailer. As the elevator doors open, we seem to step foot into a previously active construction site. Heavy equipment and an office trailer are present. Looking around further, we can find a random assortment of junk, and behind a locked security gate next to the elevator, we can find a room with a fair bit of junk in it. At the base of some metal stairs, we can find a shallow grave containing a skeleton. We can inspect it. The skeletal structure looks to be that of a female. There also appears to be a large fracture in the base of the skull, which is surrounded by gunpowder residue. So who is this skeleton, and what was the means of its demise? Suicide? Assassination? Or execution? For now, we won't know for sure, but we can assume this is Flavia's skeleton. If you remember the note that was slipped under the door in the pawn shop, the one about her farewell dinner, we can assume that the person that signed the note as IF was correct in thinking Flavia was in some sort of trouble. Moving past the skeleton and up those metal stairs, we can find what we were looking for, Vault 79. Theoretically, behind this door lies the Treasure of Appalachia. Unfortunately though, as of right now, there is no way to open this vault. But if we head just around the corner, we can find a terminal with some relevant information. Vault 79 Entrance Terminal. Operational Security. It is imperative that all external-facing terminals are wiped and restored to default settings every day, no exceptions. All of us know what we're protecting, so do your job. Remember this, any and all intruders are to be considered hostile agents, treat them accordingly. At the end of each shift, package all daily logs and deliver them to the officer of the watch. Activate the contingency plan immediately when you're ordered. You all know the drill. Stay out of sight, no smoking up top, use the designated smoking area. So this sounds like it was a very covert construction site. They wouldn't even let people smoke on the surface. Log 23010. Relieved the previous shift, patrolled the exterior, it's dark and quiet, not too cold, saw an owl hunting, beautiful creature. Looks like it may be a peach of a day come sunup. Sounds like there is some inherent optimism in this post. Log 23035. Grace caught some comm traffic from USAF. I don't like the sound of it. Having everyone start preparing the SOP just in case. Probably jumping at shadows, but hey, even if nothing happens, it relieves the boredom. This makes it sound like the construction workers may have known about the bombs. Maybe even when we finally get this vault open, we will find the construction workers inside. Unfortunately though, that's all we're going to find out in this video. Answers to many of these questions will be answered in my upcoming video about that second chalkboard. So make sure to get subscribed and stay tuned. Alright, that's all I have on Vault 79 and the Treasure of Appalachia. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Also consider following me on Twitter. It's the best place for me to keep in contact with you guys. But anyway, this has been Woodgen TV. Thanks for watching, guys.